Hi, it's Debbie from Create Pretty Things. How are you guys doing tonight? I hope you had an awesome weekend. My weekend was wonderful, wonderful. Tonight, we're going to use a surface that I have not used before. This is like a ring and hoop wreath. It's pretty neat because the top, you can embellish with flowers, ribbons, whatever you choose to. And then there's two separate pieces here. Now these pieces actually come off, so you can have just the ring. You can also replace these pieces. The bottom one just kind of slides on, and then the top one just has these little keyhole little locks, and you can just slide those on as well. So what that means is that you can buy replacement refills, wood pieces for this, and you can keep on chalking. You can chalk and use the same ring over again. Let me just fix this real quick. So you just slide them into the pegs. Just a little assembly here. So slide the keyholes, the pegs into the keyholes. And I think what it is that I have this crooked. And then slide it up. Or do I have this on backwards? That's what it is. Okay, so we're learning, guys. We're learning together. I think I have this on backwards. Okay, so what you want to do is put the keyhole in here and let it slide down. So that way it locks in place. And then you're going to go ahead and clip this right in. Aren't new toys fun? Okay, so here we are. So what we're going to do with this is we're just going to chalk the word hey on there. Just a simple little hey. Does that look like it's lined up right? Yeah. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use this little lamb and goose cutout. Aren't these adorable? Now these are thin wooden pieces. This one's the little lamb, and this one's the goose. And we have a transfer that goes on these. Right there. So you can see the lamb, and we have a choice of like a hair bow, some ears, another hair bow, and the goose as well. So we're gonna chuck those on, and then this is our hay. This is, we used this transfer last night for the howdy, and we're gonna use the hay tonight. As you jump on, please type in the keyword of goose. Goose is our keyword tonight, and we're gonna get started. Now, I am gonna do the lamb first, and this is gonna be pretty easy actually. These are reusable sticky transfers. They're stencils basically. And I went ahead, can you see how these are, they had lines drawn in? I went ahead and used my X-Acto knife to kind of separate those pieces. So now, I always have a little piece that doesn't quite get cut, but I'm just gonna peel them off of the backer sheet as I need them. So right now I'm gonna use the lamb. And I did not cut that all the way through. Let me just use my scissors. Okay, so I didn't cut around these lines. Okay, I might as well go ahead and cut this one as well, because I know I didn't cut it either, so I thought I was prepared, but I'm not. All right, so are you guys decorating for Easter yet? It feels like we just got over Valentine's Day, but believe it or not, it is Easter coming up on us very quickly. So what I normally do is I procrastinate because I think it's too early to start decorating, and then when the holiday is snuck up upon me, I realize that I have so much more to do. So I want to get cracking on my Easter decor. I'm just going to peel this off, and you want to fuzz this. Since it's sticky, you want to remove some of that stickiness. Lessen that sticky a little bit, just so it doesn't stretch when you pull it up. Doesn't harm. If you were to paint this first, You want to make sure it doesn't harm that paste that's down below. But you want to apply it to a piece of fabric 1 or 2 times to reduce that stickiness. And this is still pretty sticky. I'm going to use my fuzz towel on it because it is pretty sticky. So I'm just going to, this is actually a towel that is made specifically for fuzzing transfers. You don't have to have it though. You can use a towel, you can use a dish mat, you can use your shirt, your jeans, any piece of fabric. Now I'm just going to go ahead and center this over my wood piece. I think it can go down just a little tiny bit. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to smooth it down. Now this is going to go pretty quickly because as you can see, if you look at this, the only place it's going to receive color is where the white lines are. That's the silk screen. So this blue part is not going to receive color, but like this detailing in his hip is. So for this little lammy guy, I was debating between this storm and between our bubbly, which is one of our colors of the month. So these two, or our color of the month this month is this silver, which is called Disco. This is our color of the month. So every month they release a new color on the first day of the month. They're limited supplies. If you want it, you have to make a minimum purchase and then you're eligible to add it to your cart. You can add up to 3 at one time, but you can purchase these with the minimum discount. So this was the color of the month this month, and I just looked and it is out of stock. So that means it's gone. It won't be offered again, but that's okay. I think I'm going to use the Disco on this baby just because I haven't used it. So it's really important to go over your silk screen areas, all that white area. Make sure there's not any air bubbles. I'm a good one for having air bubbles. If you have air bubbles, they are going to cause a little bit of bleeding. So this is our creamy, dreamy paste. I've never used this color. I'm going to get a little bit on my squeegee. Can you guys see the shimmer, the shine in that? It's a beautiful metallic paste. It's not glittery. It's just metallic, but it's gorgeous. It's called Disco. Can you guess why they called it Disco? Probably because it is very, very, it attracts attention, let's say. It will attract attention. So I am just smoothing this on with the silkscreen parts. Now I do want to pay attention to some of the distressing that is hidden in this transfer. You may not see it right away, but there is some little tiny hairs that they want to highlight on his hindquarters. And we are just going to go over this. Make sure you cover all the white silk screen. So now that I've covered all my silk screen, I'm going to go over it one more time and I'm going to take off any excess paste. That will help it dry faster. It'll smooth out some of the lines. And it does kind of make sure that you haven't neglected anything. If you have anything left over, just scrape it back off into your jar. You can use it next time. Now you do want to peel these off while the paste is still wet. You don't want your paste to dry in the silk screen. And I'm going to try to hold this up a little bit for you guys so you can kind of see as I peel it. I'm just going to gently peel it off. And as I go, I'm looking. Does he have everything he's supposed to have? So it looks like he was supposed to have an eye there, but that, no, it's just kind of some marks. So I'm peeling it down. And it looks like I got it all. Isn't our little lamb cute? He's a cutie. And I think he's finished. I'm just going to leave him like he is. Now, to clean your transfer, it's very important to clean these. These are reusable transfers. You want to clean them so that you get all that paste that you just put in there out of the silk screen. And you also want to clean both sides. Now, when you clean the back side, it is sticky. So you just want to go a little gentle because when it's wet, you can glide a paper towel over it. but you don't want to harm that adhesive that's on the back side. So I go over it one time. I get as much paste off of it as I can with a paper towel. And then I have my board eraser. Now I put these in the cart. So when you comment Goose, check your messenger. I will send you a link that will be to a shopping cart. It will help you get started to see if this is a project that you want to do and what I used. So it's just kind of a starting point. You can change those colors up. You can remove what's in the cart. It's just to get you started so you don't have to hunt all over the place. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off. I'm going to take up my transfer and I'm going to clean my mat that's underneath because a little bit of paste did go through. It's just kind of keeping it clean. And now I'm going to turn it over, spray the back side, which isn't quite as dirty, but it does have a little paste on it. So I'm just going to go gently over this. The adhesive, we want to stay sticky, and once it dries, the sticky will come back as long as you're not digging on it too much. Okay, so I've gone a couple different ways with this to make sure it's out. I'm going to put my board eraser back in there. I am going to gently dry this side of the transfer. This is the sticky side. When this dries, that sticky adhesive will become sticky again. I'm going to dry the front side, and as I dry, it's getting a little bit of the dirty water off, so it's making it even cleaner. And then it's very important that you apply this back to your backer sheet. This is your backer sheet. This is what protects the sticky side of your transfer from drying up, getting little lint pieces on it, any hair that's floating around your house. It protects that sticky side of your transfer so that you can reuse this between 8 and 12 times. Can you believe that, guys? 8 and 12 times. So if you want to do 8 different sets of this, you certainly can. Just use the same transfer. So I try to stick it on the best I can. Am I perfect? No. I do smooth it down so that it connects with the backer, though. So that's that first one. I do see some water droplets on it. Now we're going to do our goose. Once again, I'm just going to separate the transfer out. Get my goose off. And peel it off. I'm going to use my fuzzing cloth again because this is kind of big. And to put on my shirt, it might not get all of it. So I'm just going to go ahead, apply it, rub it down, and lift it off 3 or 4 times. Okay, reduce that stickiness a little bit. Okay, go ahead and apply my goose. Make sure you flip it over if you need to. It's got to match. That's something that I wouldn't have done. Smooth it on. Now I think I'm going to use a little bit of my papaya paste for his beak and his feet. Now I've got a small squeegee. What this is, it is the same size as this squeegee. It started out the same size, but I cut it in half to make a smaller squeegee to work with. It's going to get a little bit of this papaya paste, and I'm going to work on his beak and his feet. This stuff goes on so easy, guys. It's kind of like, it's like buttering toast, but then again, it's like color by number a little bit because you can pick whatever colors you want to make this work. I'm just going to do that. Okay, and I was thinking of gold, but I think I'll just stick with the papaya. And then I did want to add a little bit of the shimmer melon. Now this is kind of a cross between a pink and an orange. And I think all I want to do here is add just a little tiny bit to the feathers down here, just to give it a little bit of color. And then I'm going to do the rest of this in black. I'm not sure how this will work, but we will see. I'm going to cap up some of these other colors just so that they don't dry out on me. I think I'm done with my silver. Silver was beautiful. And so I've got gold. I don't think I want the gold. I've got black, storm, and the bubbly. I have not used the bubbly either. I think I'm going to go with black. I'm going to use my black. So this is called Black Velvet. It's just black. We're going to get a little bit on here. Now the black is a little messier. It's highly pigmented. And so it does tend to stay on a little bit more. It's a little harder to clean up. I make more messes with it, but it's what we need for this. I'm trying to go around that shimmer melon. Although if I went over it and kind of blended it, that would be okay too. Go around the beak and down the sides. I'm just making sure that I get all my white lines covered. And I'm going through and taking off some excess paste. It thins it out, and to tell you the truth, it makes it a little bit less messy to clean. Okay, put all my extra back in, cap it up. Now we're gonna pull this off. It's still wet, but we want to assess this. You guys, if you're watching and you want to get notifications when I go live, do me a big favor and type in the comment !notify, N-O-T-I-F-Y. Do it all as one word without any spaces in there. And then you'll receive notifications when I go live. And then you won't have to miss out and wonder if I went live or not. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab his head by the sides. And let's look at him. What do you guys think? I don't know if I like that shimmer melon in there. It should have been black, but it's pretty cute. You guys, if you're watching and you see the red box at the top that says live, it means you're watching me live. If you don't see it, it means you're watching the replay. Please type in #replay in the comments so that I know that you watched. I'd appreciate it. And if you know of anyone else that's interested in this, in crafting, please feel free to share this video. Let them know that I'm on, and let them know how to find me. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm gonna get my paper towel. Now the black, like I said, is harder to clean. The shimmers likewise leave a little bit of residue, but they're not hard to clean. But you do want to try and get it all out of your silk screen. Look how much it picked up, guys. I'm going to go ahead and spray it again. Get my board eraser and let's wipe it. You guys can probably see how it's going to leave a little bit behind on the teal part of my transfer, but as long as it gets it out of my silk screen, I'm okay. If that paste dries in the silk screen, you won't be able to reuse it because it'll be clogged. The new paste won't be able to go through. So do your best to get it out. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and do the other side. Now this side is never as dirty as the first side because the paste was sitting on top. It was spread on top, but it does go through to the other side. So make sure you do not neglect this other side. It also picks up some of that, it'll clean off some of that fuzz that you added to reduce the stickiness. So you want to get that off. So this looks really good to me. I'm going to go ahead and dry it with a paper towel. Now, a lot of people will leave these sitting out for a while, sticky side up, before they put them away. And I will do that sometimes too, because I want them to be dry before I put them away. But what I basically do is I dry off both sides pretty well. I put it on its backer sheet in the location that I want it. And I line it up perfectly. And I smooth it down. And then I'll let it sit out for a little while before I put it back in the cellophane bag. Now these do come in these cellophane bags. They have a little adhesive flap at the bottom. You'll notice that on the back, it'll give you directions on how to use these. So directions are here. Down here is the name of the transfer. And I usually take them out. I adhere the sticky to the inside so there's still a pocket. And then I'll slide it back in and I'll secure it. So I'm going to leave this out for a little bit just to air dry a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and dry these up just a little bit. Oops. And this is my heat tool. This paste does dry really quickly though, guys. Do you guys have any questions for me about chalk paste? It's non-toxic, water-soluble, pretty easy cleanup. It's okay for your kids to use because it is non-toxic and they love it. I have my grandkids as young as 2 chalk with me. They have a lot of fun. Now it's not perfect. Depending on whether you help put the transfer down or they insist on putting the transfer down. But they always love it. They do Santa Clauses for Christmas, hearts for Valentine's. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so this one shows up really good because he's dark. This one is kind of light, but I think it's okay. So my idea, I'm gonna turn on my glue gun. I hope it's got enough battery power. Now what I want to do is I want to add these to my little ring, but I want to put the word hey in the middle. So let's see how that's going to fit. Hey, hey. I think that I will just go ahead and do it, and I will make the animals fit. So I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to do it in black because that's going to show up beautifully. I could do it in white and then move it over. Maybe I'll do that. Let's do a shadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my white. This is called bright white. And I am going to add the whole thing, do the whole thing in white. I'm going to remove the transfer. Looks great. I'm going to set this aside for a second and clean my transfer. We'll dry it, and then we'll overlay the black on top. You guys, if you haven't looked through our catalog, please go ahead and go to the website. It's chalkcouture.com/catalog. chalk pretty things. And then you're going to click on the tab that says either, you can do see new, you can see browse by whatever you're looking for, like transfers or pastes or surfaces. Or I believe there's a catalog link where you can look at, it's called the lookbook, where you can look at what they have available. Take a look at that. There's a lot of cute Easter stuff right now. They have this, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a big rabbit. And it is gorgeous. I've seen so many different renditions of it. All gorgeous. Really, really nice. I'm in love with it. I'm going to go ahead and dry this. Really well, because we're going to put this other transfer back on, and we don't want it to pull up what we just put down. Like I said, this does dry really, really quickly. And this heat tool, it's warm air. It's not really, really hot. You don't want to apply this next to your transfer or on top of your transfer because you don't want to harm them in any way. But it does get warm. And when you're applying a transfer over a freshly painted surface or even wood surfaces, you're going to want to use something called surface wax. Surface wax. I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, so I am out of my Chocator surface wax. So I have this until I get my order in. And I'm just going to apply it with a paper towel. You can use a cloth. You can use whatever you want. I'm just going to apply a light coating over where I've chalked. And hopefully this is dry enough so it won't smear. Just a light coating. And then you kind of want to rub it off a little bit. Okay. Now that protects the paste from coming up, since we just put it on there. And it also, my glue gun was dripping on my transfer, protects the transfer from stretching out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back on, and I'm basically going to match it up, but I'm going to move it over just a little bit. So I want to create a shadow of white. Let's see, right there. A shadow of white behind the black. Smooth it on. Get your black. And we're just going to paste right on top. We could have done it the other way. We could have done the black first and the white on top. Either way, it's going to turn out nice. We hope. Take this off and let's check it out. Oh, we have a bleed at the bottom. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Can you see the white behind? But look at this bleed on the H. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna work to remove that. I don't know, maybe we should have just left it white or black. I'm not sure if I like the shadowing on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the dryer just a little bit. The reason I got that bleed is because it probably had an air bubble or it wasn't down securely under that transfer, down to the surface. Here we go, cleaning the black again. I'm almost out of water, excuse me. Okay. So as you guys watch other people craft, you can always learn by their mistakes. So if you don't like the looks of that layering one, you definitely don't have to do it on yours. You can do this, and you can choose your own colors. You can use any colors you want to highlight these animals, to draw attention to them. You don't have to add any highlights if you don't want. Any highlights, like I picked this surface, but you can pick any surface you want. I thought it would be really cute on a board, like those two together, like maybe a canvas board somehow. I thought that would be cute too. So you can pick your own surfaces, your own colors. And like I picked hay for this transfer. You don't have to have hay. You can do whatever you would like to do. Free choice, guys, free choice. Okay, so now what I want to do is I am going to add my animals to my board. And what I'm going to do is, instead of gluing them, I'm just going to use some of our magnets. They're adhesive, and I'm going to stick them on there. There it is. So I'm going to have to put two together. So I'm going to go ahead and stick two of them together. I think I'll just put it right there. And then press down on my goose. Okay. And once you know it, they're not sticking. Why aren't they sticking? They should be attracting to each other. Let's see. Put this one right here. Let's see if they'll stay. Oops. Well, I'm not sure why that's not working. What I could do is just go ahead and glue them. I have to go over to the other side, guys, to get my little goose. So instead of messing with these, trying to troubleshoot them, I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue them. And my battery just went off. So glue that to that. So those glued. And then what I want to do is I want to add some flowers. So these are some flowers that came with one of our kits a while ago. And so they have sticky backs, I believe. Yeah, they have some stickies here, but I think I'm going to go ahead and glue them. So they come with these beautiful flowers, some little bit of greenery. A little flower. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's glue down this little greenery here. Let's add a flower. Another flower. Maybe some greenery. And our glue gun lasted just enough. Okay, so guys, here, let's see if everything's stuck. Here is our cute little wreath for Easter. Kind of looks like an Easter basket. Now I am going to clean up that bleed at the bottom. Don't you love it? So cute. So I hope you had fun. This was a little a wreath form that you can actually change out. Once you chalk these, you can change it out with refills. I tried to magnetize the little cutouts on, but the glue I can always peel off too. And then the flowers were from a leftover set that didn't get used. Whoops. And that's how we decorated it. Let me put this guy back on. Yeah, see, he came off the magnet right there. And my glue gun is just barely have enough. Barely has enough glue left that's warmed. So here it is, guys. I love it. I hope you guys love it too. It brings in Easter. I just think it's adorable. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back on again tomorrow. See you later. Bye.